Hey members and patrons, just wanted to record a little behind the scenes video before the end of April. I'm recording this a little bit earlier than I usually do during the month. I might still release it towards the end of the month, but whenever you're watching this, it probably doesn't matter. It's not important. What is important is that we have a lot of things to talk about today. This has been a really interesting month. April has been a really, really interesting month for Orange River. I have not released a lot of content in April, and that is being somewhat reflected in my analytics. But in terms of what I have released, I mean, let's just go through it, and I'll also talk about some of the other behind-the-scenes activities that are occurring, some of the videos that I'm working on, some of the other projects that I'm working on, and the future of all of that. I'm looking at my OBS preview window, and I'm trying to see if there's like an audio-video desync. I hope I didn't cause anybody to become distracted for the rest of the video looking at a potential audio-video desync, but I'll figure it out. You guys could just honestly listen to what I'm saying instead of watching me talk. But anyway, but before we get into that, if there's any new patrons or members here, I just want to say welcome. Welcome on board. And I hope you are enjoying your perks. There's more where that came from. So we started off the month, of course, with the April Fool's video with the clickbaity thumbnail. And April Fool's is the one day out of the year where clickbait, like total actual clickbait, is acceptable, of course. Or at least that's what I've surmised. But apparently, and this is an experience I've had with a lot of my April Fool's videos over the years. Some people still didn't get it. Some people still clicked on it and were like, "But what is this?" And they'd click dislike, and it's like, well, check the upload date. Like, and it's really more so than that. It's the fact that, in previous April Fool's years, I have done like comedy skits, especially with my clones, and comedy skits with the clones. A lot of you guys really enjoy those. I enjoy making them, even though they're a pain in the ass to film and edit. I enjoy conceptualizing them, at least, and seeing the feedback. But there was it was the highest click-through rate of any video in recent memory. So that's the number of people who are served an impression, who actually clicked on the video. It was like 14%, really high for a YouTube video. It's also pretty short, but I'm glad you enjoyed that. But apparently, some people, for some people, I can't be funny. I can't do comedy. It's got to be all serious all the time. So that's where the dislikes came in. That's pretty standard stuff. But that video was, of course, a tease of my my Lower Decks video. I showed the clone skit, and I showed the intro for the Lower Decks video proper. And that was about 3 weeks ahead of the release date, and now that got partially demonetized. So some of you saw this in my Discord. I posted images of this, like screenshots, where the April Fool's video got hit with limited ads. I don't know why, although maybe the thumbnail has something to do with it. I don't know if it's an automated check that did that, or if somebody reported it because they're disgruntled or something. I don't know what the deal is, but it did happen. But I mean, it's an April Fool's video. It's whatever. I just that was kind of disappointing, but it happens from time to time. 3 days after that, on the 5th, April 5th, First Contact Day, we did a First Contact Day stream, and I did a First Contact Day fundraiser. And it was for the Lower Decks video, and you guys really came through massively. I was really happy to see the outpouring of support for that video that that arrived on that stream, and we had a really good discussion. In the time between that And when I released my Lower Decks video, so I released my Lower Decks video, my seasons 1 through 4 analysis on the 19th, and I was timing it so it would come out on the same day as a video that Kinsey was working on, and we released on the same day at the same time, and our videos were good complements to each other. He focused more so on dissecting the comedy, particularly in season 1, whereas I talked about the lore overall in the series and how it relates to the rest of the canon. So you should watch both of those. But between in the time in the interim, I worked on a few different projects. So I finished my DS9 rewatch, and that's something I've been doing, of course, for my DS9 retrospective video, which is currently being edited. Also, I completed rough cuts for TOS Movies, which is going to be probably my next sponsored video, knock on wood. But that will be coming out in early May. And there's another rough cut that'll arrive soon for top members and patrons. And also Mapping TNG. So this is the sequel to my Mapping Kirk's Trek project, where I map the route of the Enterprise in Star Trek The Next Generation. That was really... making the maps for that was fun. Editing it was not, because I had to take 200 screenshots of my computer to track the route of the ship and fade from one to another. So we'll see how that's received. My mapping videos have gotten increasingly fewer views over time, so this will determine the future of map projects, but you can look forward to that. Like I said, top members and patrons at the $25 level and above get access to rough cuts of videos, often weeks early. So if you want to see my stuff early and have input on it, you can join at that tier. That's the commander tier or above. Then the week in the lead up to my Lower Decks video release was also very, very interesting. So I'm really, really glad I did not wait to do this the night before. But I've started rendering the final cut of my video like a week in advance, just in case I have to deal with copyright BS. Well, that's exactly what happened. So as many of you became aware of, I spent multiple full work days trying to upload a cut of the Lower Decks analysis video that did not get hit with copyright claims. Now, the rough cut had copyright claims, content ID claims from Paramount. Obviously, they're claiming the footage in the video that I'm using from the episodes. And as a general rule on YouTube, you can usually get away with showing audio and video from a copyrighted piece of work as long as it's shorter than 10 seconds. However, that's not universally true. Sometimes music or record labels will claim songs that are like 5 seconds or shorter. That happened to me one time. It's happened to a lot of people. A lot of really good people have been the victim of this. But in terms of copyright, I mean, for Lower Decks, I swear it was like, I lost count of how many times I tried to upload to get it just right. And I uploaded, so the rough cut had copyright claims. I thought I had fixed those in the final cut, but I uploaded a 1080p test render just to make sure that it would go through, and it did finally. I was like, oh, thank God. So I uploaded the 4K version. Well, the next morning, that got hit with copyright claims. So again, knock on wood, for now, that 1080p cut, which is what actually got released, is the one that is monetized. I'm not going to question it. I barely want to even talk about it anymore, because it's like I don't want to summon any bad juju or whatever that would change that. But it's for that reason that I left a pinned comment where I said that regrettably I was not able to deliver this video in 4K, but the patrons, the extended cut, the extended uncensored ad-free cut is on Patreon. I wanted to publish it for members too, because I usually publish the same stuff for patrons and members, but unfortunately, the extended cut also, it not only did it get copyright claims, which would not have been so much of an issue, because if I'm posting it for members, I don't care if it makes money or not, because you guys are already paying for it. It got blocked worldwide. I've had that happen a few times. I think the rough cut of my Avatar video got blocked worldwide by Disney or something like that. Something like that. I don't know. Something like that has happened to me before, but like blocked worldwide. So members, unfortunately, you can only watch the public cut on YouTube, but at least that one is visible. It has some additional censors on top of it to appease YouTube. What I would say is the true cut, the director's cut. I might have gone too far in some places. Hopefully this works. Is on Patreon. So if you are a patron at the $5 level or above, engineer level or above, you can watch the real version. Unfortunately, I refer to the YouTube cut, the public YouTube cut, as the mutilated, castrated, watered down version, because I had to just take out so many clips and cover like blur footage and add text over certain sections so it would get past the copyright filter. It's ridiculous. It's stupid. This is the worst, the most severe experience and the most frustrating and stressful experience I have had with copyright on a YouTube video probably ever in my life. And I'm glad that, like I said, there's a cut that is watchable on YouTube that is monetized for now. So thank you all for coming out to the premiere, those of you who did and who have watched it so far. If you haven't watched it so far, if you're watching this and you're a patron, you can watch the extended cut. If you're watching this and you're a member and you haven't watched the YouTube cut, go watch the YouTube cut. It has been described as my most unhinged video yet, and I wear that as a badge of honor. Take that proudly. I mean, you guys know what is in there, or you guys can imagine. Even if you haven't seen any previews for it, you guys can imagine what kind of degeneracy is in that video. And I'm proud of it. I did that on purpose because I just wanted to push the envelope, because Lower Decks pushes the envelope, and I don't know. It was a fun production. It's something that, and it's still early in the after its release in terms of its view count. It's 2 hours long, so it's trending towards the lower end of the view count range, my average view count range, but watch time is above average, and that's the number I'm starting to care more about these days. Obviously, I wanted to make money as well. You guys helped out with that, with the fundraiser, and it has a sponsor, thank God. So it will continue to go over time, but go watch it, go support it. But that was a fun project, and we spent I off and on for like the first third of the year, or first quarter of the year at least, was spent working on that. It's my most ambitious project ever. It's my longest video essay ever, outside of Supercuts. And I did the rewatch, my Lower Decks rewatch, over 4 days in January, to take notes, wrote the script. We shot it. Kenzie and I shot it in February. I edited it over the next 2 weeks, and I released it, I guess, last month or earlier this month for top patrons and members, the rough cut. The reason I waited so long is because, like I said, I wanted to. I had the TOS retrospective I wanted to release first because I had promised it in a community poll. but I wanted to also give Kinsey time to work on his videos so we could release them side by side. And watching the premiere was fun. I usually don't do premieres because, I am not really convinced that they actually do anything helpful for me other than give people an opportunity to give super chats, but people can also give super thanks at any time that they want. But watching people react to my jokes in real time was interesting and fun, and answering questions in real time was fun. It had more concurrent viewership than any live stream I've ever done, which is interesting. It was a good time. It was a good time. So Lower Decks. Sad it got canceled. I'll probably do a video analyzing season 5 next year, or later this year, probably next year. I mean, let's be real. It's probably 2025 is when that video will come out. This has been a big defining moment of my channel, and even though, like I said, views wise it's not exploding or anything, it's still a major part of my library now. And hopefully it stays monetized, for God's sakes. Anyway, other than that, what else is there to talk about? I mean, right now I'm continuing to edit DS9, and then I'll have updates in next month's video about what I'm working on then. Like I said, TOS movies will be coming out in early May, or should be, and I have another video that you guys are going to enjoy. It's an alien biology video, my bread and butter. It's coming out in May 2, probably. Maybe a supercut, we'll see. And then beyond that, I'm still working on, I want to shoot For All Mankind soon, and we got Metroid Timeline being worked on behind the scenes as well. Just all kinds of stuff and some other scripts. So stay tuned for that. In terms of live streams, I did want to have a note about this. So I know some of you guys might be disappointed about this, but I'm kind of pausing my Wind Waker playthrough. I just don't have a lot of time to dedicate to it right now because I have to do some off-stream grinding, and there's just other things that need my attention right now. Phobia will be streaming later this month. Yeah, so the 27th. I don't know if this video will have come out before or after the 27th, but you can go check that out. It's his birthday stream, and I will be there a little bit. I don't know if I'll be doing any, I'll actually be appearing or you'll hear me, but we'll do some co-op gameplay. I'll reveal what game later. You can go check that out to see what it is. I want to keep it a little surprise. Kinsey will be starting, or will have started by the time this comes out, maybe, a Mass Effect 3 playthrough on his channel. You can go check that out every Wednesday at 6 Central. And in terms of my other live streams, I'm not sure what I'm going to do. I'm going to do another fundraiser, a few more fundraisers for future videos. In terms of gameplay, I might come up with something in the meantime, but I have two special gaming streams I want to do in June and July that that's the plan now, that I need to focus on those as well. So Wind Waker might come back later this year, so I can finish the VOD playlist, but yeah, there's just other things that I need to focus on right now. So I apologize to those of you who have become invested in the Wind Waker playthrough, but I'm not declaring it dead yet or anything. I just got other things to do. But yeah, so stay tuned for that. One more thing, if you haven't watched last month's BTS vlog, go watch it. I know it was 30 minutes long, but I showed off a 3D Star Trek map that I made in Blender, which was really fun. I look forward to implementing that possibly in future videos and stuff. I would like to go back in and add some more tweaks to it. Maybe one day I'll release it publicly for my audience to play around with, but right now it's in kind of like an alpha stage. But anyway, go check that out. That's all I have to say for this week, this month. Yeah. Thank you all for supporting the channel in all the ways that you do. Check out all the relevant links in the description, and live long and prosper.